Round 4 of the 2025 Formula One season takes us back to the desert of Bahrain, and as always, this Grand Prix brings with it a host of narratives set to unfold under the scorching sun. After the chilly preseason testing, we return to Sakir in much warmer and more challenging conditions. With this shift, what should we expect from the nature of the circuit? And just as crucially, which upgrades are likely to be the biggest game changers? Much of the attention this weekend will be on Ferrari. The team is set to introduce a significant floor upgrade, one that's expected to unlock the potential glimpse during both simulator runs and winter testing. But it's important to note that the preseason testing was conducted in surprisingly cold conditions. Now that heat will play a much larger role, the competitive landscape could look very different. To understand how that impacts the race, we need to break down a few elements: tire degradation, track abrasiveness, and the overall evolution of the surface over the race weekend. Although the track surface has aged over the years, it continues to be quite abrasive, an essential factor at a venue known for its extended braking zones. This wear and tear on tires will test the brilliance of every team's strategy department. Bahrain is notoriously brutal when it comes to tire management. The surface offers good grip, but that advantage is offset by the constant threat of sand blowing across the circuit. While we don't anticipate high levels of wear or graining, thermal degradation will certainly be a pressing concern for engineers and drivers alike. Tire stress and lateral loads are rated at a medium level here, around 3 out of 5, but braking zones climb higher, demanding a 4 out of 5 effort. This is where the battle between driver finesse and tire preservation will be most evident. Add to that a significant swing in track temperatures, from under 20 degrees Celsius last weekend to potentially over 30 degrees Celsius for the race, and teams are facing one of their toughest weekends so far in terms of tire performance. But one team might be breathing easier than the rest: McLaren. Unlike their rivals, McLaren seem to have built a machine that adapts well across various scenarios. They're not expected to struggle with tire degradation the way others might. Still, Bahrain remains a bit of a ghost for the team. It's considered their symbolic home race, yet they've never clinched a win here. With what many are calling the most competitive car on the grid, this could finally be their time. However, as we saw in Suzuka, nothing comes easy, not when Verstappen and the RB21 are in the picture. This weekend will also be a showcase moment for McLaren in front of their majority shareholder, Bahrain's sovereign wealth fund, Mumtalakat, which now fully owns the McLaren Group, including the F1 team. McLaren's team principal, Andrea Stella, even dubbed Bahrain their second home race. But can they finally end the dry spell? It's a tall order, especially with Red Bull's resurgence in Japan still fresh in everyone's minds. Looking at McLaren's prospects, Stella was candid. While Verstappen is currently a difference maker, Stella emphasized that long-term success hinges on having the best machinery. You need the car to win both championships, he said. When you can't win, aim for the podium. Keep performing like that over the long term, and rewards will follow. Verstappen's form has been exceptional, but sustaining that over 24 races is an entirely different challenge, especially if your car isn't superior. For Verstappen, Bahrain presents a golden opportunity to retake the championship lead. He recently lost a historic winning streak at the last race of 2024, but he's now only 1 point behind Lando Norris and has been responsible for all 61 of Red Bull's points so far this season. Meanwhile, Norris believes Bahrain's slow-speed corners could play into Red Bull's hands. Our main weakness compared to Red Bull has been slow-speed corners, Norris explained. And Bahrain doesn't have as many high-speed sections. That's where we usually shine. Still, Norris feels they squeezed a lot out of the car during qualifying in Suzuka. He noted that while the gap wasn't massive, Red Bull looked strong again. Max is doing an incredible job, he added. And Red Bull may have made some gains on us recently. All eyes will also be on Ferrari this weekend. With the new floor coming to the SF25, hopes are high that the team can finally bring their preseason promise into reality. Their car looked solid in simulations and testing, but they've yet to demonstrate meaningful progress on race weekends. Ferrari boss Frederic Vasseur has openly criticized their slow start to the season, but insists Bahrain could be the turning point. This is where we start to understand what's really possible, Vasseur said. Everyone wants to lower the car and gain downforce, but bottoming out and regulation limits keep us in check. It's a fine balance, and every team is searching for that perfect spot. However, there's reportedly some internal debate within Ferrari over the timing of the upgrade. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, while Ferrari's aerodynamic team is confident that the new floor is a step in the right direction, Vasseur and technical director Enrico Cardile have expressed caution. They'd prefer to wait until Miami to roll out such a critical change, believing the car's current balance still needs more refinement. Even so, this weekend's upgrade is just the first phase of a broader development package that will span multiple races. The debate centers on whether the current platform is ready for such a shift, a key question for a team still trying to close the gap to the front. Another driver keenly watching these changes is Lewis Hamilton. After a less than stellar start to the season, the seven-time champion is eager to see improvements. Reflecting on Suzuka and looking ahead to Bahrain, Hamilton said, "I'm happy I moved forward in Japan, but I'm hoping we'll see some real progress next weekend. There's been a clear deficit on one side of the garage. So given that, I'm content with what we achieved, but we need to keep building." Hamilton pointed out that there's a lot of catching up to do, estimating that Mercedes are currently 3 to 4 tenths off the leaders. Still, with upgrades coming throughout the year, he remains hopeful they can narrow the gap, and Mercedes shouldn't be overlooked. They're currently sitting second in the constructors' standings and look like the second fastest team based on the first 3 races. Many had written them off due to their early struggles adapting to the ground effect era, but their 75-point haul is their best start since 2022. Team principal Toto Wolff echoed this cautiously optimistic sentiment. Speaking ahead of the Bahrain GP, he said, "This weekend will be another real test of how far we've come. Bahrain is rear-limited, very abrasive, and the high track temps make it tough on the tires. We didn't do well here last year, so this will be a benchmark." So, as we head into the Bahrain Grand Prix, the stage is set for a showdown filled with variables, track temperatures, tire strategies, new upgrades, and rising pressure on several teams to deliver. What do you think will be the biggest storyline coming out of this weekend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.